Welcome to the first back pain Bible study video where we will look at biblical principles and how you can apply them to your health to eliminate back pain from your life. Today we will look at the concept of patience, how it works, what it is, and how it can help you become unbreakable. We will look at the book of James, and this is one of my favorite books of the Bible. And oh my gosh, the concept of patience would have been so helpful in my times of lows and experiencing a lot of pain, maybe some flare-ups on the way out of pain. Understanding this concept of patience and how it works would have helped me to last through those times much easier, much better, and with lots of joy, lots of hope. So let's get into it. Starting with James chapter 1. Verse 1, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. Oh man, James gives us a wonderful introduction, and wow, what an opening line. Count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. This is so good. So let's start unpacking this. So the first question that comes to my mind, is what are temptations? Okay, because we need to unpack this line so we can understand it. So what are temptations? Temptations are simply experiences of evil. They're adversity, they're difficulty, they're challenges. Okay, and so you and I alike are meant to count our difficulty, count our temptations, all of them, all of the diverse ones, all the different ones. Count it all joy. Wow. Now that comes up. Now there's a really important word here. There's two actually. The two important words are all, count it all, joy, and when. All and when. And the reason is because when means that you are going to fall into diverse temptations. You are going to experience difficulty. You are going to experience evil. You are going to experience adversity, difficulty, challenges, trials, all of it. You are going to experience, and you're going to experience many different ones, right? Despite of that, count it all joy. Not some, not a few, all of them. Count it all joy. And so this brings me to my next big question. How? like how am I supposed to have joy when I am, kind of miserable, when I'm experiencing a lot of pain, maybe when a loved one dies, when I lose my job, when I get in a car accident, when bad things happen, when I get sick, when I have, maybe it's a diagnosis that I just how am I supposed to have joy in those moments, right? And this kind of brings me back to the fact that a lot of times in Mass, priests during their homilies highlight the importance of having joy, among other things like hope and faith, those sorts of things. But joy specifically, I've heard it so many times. Have joy always, always have joy. But that doesn't help you. That doesn't help me if we don't know how, right? We don't just have joy if we don't know how, and so here is exactly how. If we look in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 2, we are told exactly how to have joy. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Jesus is the ultimate example of joy. And the reason for that is he had joy even though he was experiencing one of the greatest evils, and that is the crucifixion. He was experiencing agony, imaginable pain, but he had joy. He counted it all joy. And another thing is that he knew his whole life it was gonna happen. Thankfully for you and for me, we don't know when we're gonna die. We don't know how we're gonna die. That's kind of, for me, that's comforting. But Jesus knew he was going to have to endure this imaginable death, like so painful. But he still had joy in his life. Here is exactly how. He found joy in the outcome. He was living in the presence of the result. And the result here is eternal life for you and for me. It's salvation. It's bridging the gap between humankind and God. It's restoring that connection that was lost with the first sin. And so Jesus knew that this connection was going to be restored. And the only way for it to be restored is his crucifixion. But the simple fact that he knew that after his death, he would rise and restore the connection so that he could be with us in heaven didn't matter. He was able to have joy through the process, and this joy allowed him to endure the greatest evil that he encountered in his life. And so what we see here in this verse, we see three main things about joy. The first two are the most important. And so the first two are, in order for us to have joy, to experience joy, we must be able to see the end result. Okay, I'm actually going to write this down. So the first, we have three things of joy. The first, we must be able to see the end result. So Jesus, in enduring the cross, like he was able to have joy while he was enduring the cross because he saw salvation. He saw the fact that he was going to sit at the right hand of God afterward. He saw that he was going to be able, he was going to restore the connection between humans and him and God. And so he could see the end result. But maybe more importantly, number two, he believed, and God knew, like he knew, but for our sake, believed he could achieve the result. So he could see the end result, but more importantly, like Jesus knew he could achieve the end result, but we need to believe that we can achieve the end result. We need to believe that we can get there, right? And so those are the two most important things. Like if you cannot believe, first of all, if you can't see the end result, you're not gonna have joy. Like for those of you that are going through back pain, if you can't see into some point in the future where you don't have back pain, or if you can't see somebody else who's maybe gone through what you've gone through, or is maybe older than you that doesn't have back pain, if you don't see that, like if you can't see the end result, like you're not gonna get there. And then if you don't believe that you can get there, you won't get there. Like you can't have, and you can't have joy. And joy is what allows you to endure the temptation, to endure the difficulty, right? And so this leads me to number three. You have to live in the result. Okay? You have to live in the result. So while you are going through the difficult times, you have to live. The joy comes from living in the end result, right? Okay. Now, another thing too is if you don't have joy, you get the opposite. And unfortunately, the opposite is misery. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather go through tough times and difficulties and challenges and things that I don't believe that I can overcome. I would rather go through those with joy, seeing the end result, and just believing in the fact that God can get me there. That alone, like that will help you, even if you believe that you cannot get there. But you still got to put in the work, right? You still got to do the work to get there. You just trust that God is putting you on the right path. Okay, now back to James. We have count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. So knowing that you will fall into diverse temptations, and when you do, you count it all joy. Your faith is tried, which worketh patience. Now, what is patience? Patience is persistent. So important that you understand what patience is. Persistent, consistent endurance. So patience So when I go through my diverse temptations, patience, the diverse temptations try my faith, right? They try my faith in the end result, which works patience, which develops persistent, consistent endurance in me, right? And this is so important because endurance, what's endurance? Endurance is the ability to do over and over and over again. So that the trying of my faith develops patience in me, which is persistent, consistent endurance. Okay. All right, so my son woke up, had to rewrite all this. It's a little while later, but anyways, the trying of my faith works persistent, consistent endurance, which develops the ability to do over and over and over again in me, right? And so when you find the solution to back pain, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, the solution to back pain is figuring out where you are weak and make it strong. Figure out where you are weak in and around the spine and make those your strengths. If you check out my previous 2 videos, this shows you the exact exercises that you need to do to address your weak links, and I'll continue to come out with more videos on a few more areas that are less important but still important to getting rid of back pain. So, but anyways, check those 2 videos out. They'll help you a lot. And so anyways, when you find the solution, it's not going to be a smooth road. There are going to be some ups and downs, right? So you find the solution, everything's going good, right? And then maybe you overdo it, you have a little bit of a flare up, right? And then you work back up, sleep on it wrong, work back up, stress at your job, work back up, oh man, you're doing pretty good, flare up, work back up, flare up, work back up, oh man, now I'm getting some momentum, there we go, there we go, there we go, and then I get to this point, and pretty soon the lows aren't even lows anymore. The highs aren't even, like I'm always on the high, right? Like when I feel good, I feel really good, but when I feel bad, it's just like, oh, I just have a little discomfort today, like it's no big deal, right? And in order for me, and like this is what I call, this is the cutoff line. This is where, that's where back pain is gone from your life, right? And in back pain, I'm talking about chronic back pain, okay? Like I can do something stupid and hurt my back a little bit, but I'm talking about chronic back pain, okay? So this right here is where patience is working on me. Patience is having her perfect work with me through the trials, through the ups and downs of this area. And honestly, before, when I'm like maybe, I'm experiencing my pain and I'm going down. Like this is where I don't know the solution, right? And patience is still working on me then. But more importantly, patience here is working on me the most because it's trying my faith in the end result of no back pain, right? And so this trying, because like when I'm here, it doesn't feel like I'm progressing. When I'm here, it doesn't feel, even when I'm here, it doesn't really feel like I'm progressing. It feels like I'm stuck in those positions, right? It feels like, oh man, I guess I'm like, this is as best as I'm gonna get. I'm still gonna have this back pain for the rest of my life. But then you keep moving it, you keep doing the things, you persistent, consistent endurance works on you. You just last through the learning curve. Last through the valley. Just have patience, and she will have her perfect work making you entire, making you perfect, wanting nothing. You will lack nothing. And what's beautiful about this is you have to go through trial. You have to go through trial, because what does trial do? It tests your faith. It works with patience. It develops endurance. It develops the ability to do over and over and over and over and over again, so you can continue to do over and over and over and over again when you get to that point. This prepares you for this so you can stay here, so you don't go back down. Now, I'm not saying that like you can still experience a back injury, but the thing is, If you experience a back injury, maybe it does take you all the way down to the bottom. Maybe it's pretty bad. But instead of all this, you've learned so much that now it'll look like that, right? And then you get to that place much faster. But anyways, this prepares you for there. It prepares you to stay there, whatever the end result is. And what's amazing is if you do not have joy here, if you don't have joy here, if you do not see the end result, if you do not believe in the end result, if you do not live in the end result, it's going to take you a really long time to get there, or you might not get there, especially if you don't believe. But what I'm going to say is, if you don't believe down here, find somebody who believes in you. Because I'm going to be honest, like, in order for you to see the end result of getting out of back pain, find somebody who's older than you. Find somebody who's gone through the injuries that you've gone through, right? Find somebody who has helped people out of back pain, right? Because even when you are down here, there is, for most people, there is a point in the past. There is a point in the past, maybe when you're a kid, where you're up there, you don't have any pain, back pain. Like, there is a point in the past. And the problem is most people don't believe that they can get back there because they think that age causes back pain. That's completely false. It's just weakness. It's ignorance. It's letting your body decay by not using it and strengthening it. Like, age does not cause back pain. Age does not cause back pain. Anyways, so for most people, seeing this doesn't do anything. But if you find somebody older, if you find somebody who went through the same thing, if you find somebody who is out of back pain, who went through the same, like pretty much the same thing that you went through, that's going to give you your belief. So that's going to be really helpful as well. But this joy here allows you to last till there. That's so important. And so, oh man, that's so good. It's really hope that this helps you understand how patience, like here, this, like in order to become unbreakable, patience has to have her perfect work on you. Does that make sense? Like patience has to have her perfect work on you so that you can become unbreakable. And the reason that you're unbreakable is because you are not going to ignore anymore. You have developed endurance, the ability to do over and over and over and over again. So you're going to continue to do whatever worked here over and over and over and over again. So you continue improving. So you push pain so far back in the past, so far down there, that like, even if you try something, like back pain isn't really going to happen. Like that's so important. Anyways, so I really hope that this video has helped you understand how important patience is and how it can help you become unbreakable. And if you've enjoyed it, if it's helped you, please share it, like it, subscribe for more videos like it, and check out the 2 previous videos to figure out what you need to do to get out of back pain, the exercises that you need to implement to show you where you are weak, and and to allow you to become strong in those areas. So, and last thing, I want you to know that I'm praying for you through your journey out of back pain. And I thank you for your attention. I will see you on a future video. Take care.